Dads, what's the pettiest way you've proved your son wrong? My son came home from school one day acting like he was the hardest working person in the entire house. He started complaining about how he does everything while I just sit around watching TV. Hello? I'm the one paying for everything. But apparently that doesn't count. He made this whole list of chores he does and started reading them out loud at dinner like he was presenting evidence in court. My wife, she was trying not to laugh, but I could tell she was waiting to see what I'd say. I told him that I do way more than he could ever imagine. But this kid doubled down. He said, "Name one thing you do more than me." Bet I wasn't about to let my own son disrespect me like that. So I made my own list. Except mine wasn't just chores. It was everything. Groceries, bills, fixing things, yard work, literally keeping the house from falling apart. I presented it to him the next day, and instead of admitting defeat, he said, "Those don't count because you're supposed to do that." What? That's when I decided to go nuclear. For an entire week, I did every single chore he claimed was his job. I'm talking taking out the trash, doing the dishes, vacuuming, even making his bed for him. But here's the thing. I documented everything. Pictures, timestamps, the whole 9 yards. I had a folder on my phone labeled evidence with 47 photos of me doing his chores. There was even a video of me taking out the trash at 6 a.m. with a selfie stick. My wife saw it and said, "You need help." I said, "No, I need respect." By day 4, my son noticed something was off. He walked into the kitchen and saw the dishes already done. He looked confused, like someone had just broken into our house to clean it. Then he checked his room and his bed was made. He came downstairs and said, "Dad, did you do my chores?" I just smiled and said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." At the end of the week, I called a family meeting. I pulled out my laptop, connected it to the TV, and started a PowerPoint presentation titled, "A Week in the Life of Dad." Slide 1 was a pie chart of chores completed. Slide 2 was a timeline with photos. Slide 3 was a dramatic quote that said, "Hard work is doing the dishes at midnight because your son forgot." My son looked horrified when he realized I'd actually done it all. My wife was crying, laughing at this point, and I thought I'd won. But then my son said, "Okay, but who's gonna do it all now?" And it hit me. I just signed myself up for a week's worth of extra work. And now my wife expected me to keep it up. She looked at me and said, "Honey, you've really stepped up. This is great." I stared at my son. He grinned. I'd been outplayed by a 12-year-old with a smirk and zero remorse. I'm never proving a point again.